Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Residency Podcast, a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. I wanted to tell you about the Strong Ambulatory Care Residency Letter of Intent, which is free on Thursday and Friday of this week. So it's going to be the 9th and 10th of December. So I'll show you how to get to it. So let's actually start there. If you look under Kindle Unlimited, it says $0 Kindle Unlimited. But under here, it'll say $0.00 to buy. That's the button you want to hit. So not the Kindle button, but the one that underneath, unless you have Kindle Unlimited. And I want to talk a little bit about the Strong Ambulatory Care Residency Letter of Intent. So I'm going to go inside, and to go get the table of contents, you actually go up. I wrote this one with a current resident who is in an ambulatory care residency, and it's Callie Abramowitz. And what I wanted to do was, instead of just, here's what you do, you're going to hear her story as she goes through step by step from the realization, which is she was thinking maybe of doing work in community pharmacy, and instead decided, I think I'm going to want to do an ambulatory care residency. And kind of, okay, well, now that I've kind of realized that late in the game, what do I need to do? Then I talk about what it is with residency applications and kind of the holy grail, because there are a very few number of things that are extremely important in terms of getting that residency application to turn into an interview. Chapter 3, we go back to Callie. She talks about her P3 year, how she chose her APPEs, and some of the things that were a little bit surprising about the APPEs that she took and how they were helpful in terms of her getting her position. Then I'll give you a bunch of general advice in terms of fundamentals with the letter of intent, and saying, oh my gosh, I have no time to read something like this, but I assure you what I tell you will make things a lot quicker for you. Next, she's going to talk about choosing, applying to, and ranking the sites and the actual interviews themselves. And then I'll talk about the nuts and bolts of the actual document. So formatting, heading, font, those types of things. Things that you might not think of, but when somebody looks at a letter of intent or a CV, it either looks right or it doesn't. And there's a reason for that, and there's a numerical way to express it. Number 7 is actually ranking. So Callie's going to talk a little bit about how she ranked her programs after her interviews. And she did get all of the interviews. So she applied to 7 programs, got 7 interviews. And how did she rank them? Okay. Next thing, what do other people write about? So as you're kind of trying to write your letter of intent, you have similar stories to other people. How did they do it? So in clinical, you've got a clinical save or maybe part-time job that you're working. With leadership, how do you talk about being an officer or an organization, especially if you have a national position? Research, when you publish the article, how do you talk about that? And how do you talk about presenting posters and towards communication skills, things like that? Teaching, maybe you were a first-generation college student and want to talk about paying it forward. Or if you were a tutor or mentor, or maybe you were successful in the clinical skills and patient counseling competitions at your school, or even another level up. And then service, maybe you grew up in poverty and want to help others, or volunteer, or organize, and you've organized events. This is quite common, especially in ambulatory care, where you are one-on-one in the front lines, trying to keep people back out of the hospital. I talk a bit about LOIs and how to use them as you move from one to the other with your recommendations. The one thing you really never want to do is create a template and then just use that for 12, kind of like print them off like mass printing. What you want to do is work from one to the next, and be very clear about what you're trading off as you move from your first to your second choice, your second to your third. And you have to articulate that to your recommender. If you don't get that paragraph filled in from the recommender, the bottom paragraph that says, why is this person good for this site? Most sites will just discard your application. Which preceptors to ask, and then when a preceptor says no, what do you do? Okay. What reasons are there for rejection? And then college faculty, you would think, yeah, they're on my side. Of course, they'll write a good recommendation. That is false. They will write an honest recommendation. And then how do you help your recommender? So the perfect residency, strengths, weaknesses, and so forth. Then we go back to the actual match, what it was like on that day, and Callie talks about that. And then a bonus chapter talking about the actual interview questions that you're going to be running into, hopefully, as you kind of move toward it. So again, the Strong Ambulatory Care Residency letter of intent is free on Thursday and Friday. I invite you to get it. It is free. You don't have to be a Kindle Unlimited member, and you don't even have to have a Kindle. You can just look at it on your screen or your device or whatever. Again, if you need one-on-one help with me, residency.teachable.com. I've been pretty quick about these. People are sending me deadlines that are like 22 days away, and I'm like, I'll have it in 2 or 3 days. Like, it's not a thing to meet those kinds of deadlines right now. So again, reach out to me if you've got questions, tonythepharmacist@gmail.com. Oops.